And thanks for watching The National. Now keep watching. Your local news starts right now.
Thanks, Amanda, and good evening. The massive search to find a soldier who has mysteriously disappeared has now been called off. Master Corporal Richard Curnow was out for a training run in the River Valley yesterday, but he never reached the finish line. Tonight, family, friends, and his military colleagues are still desperately hoping for some sign of what may have happened to him. Alicia Asquith has the story.
After an exhaustive search covering over 12 square kilometers of the River Valley, tonight this park sits empty. Search crews have now gone home after the military and EPS both called off the official search for the missing soldier.
Okay, make sure you guys spread out.
For 2 days, search crews scoured the thick brush along the river looking for any sign of Master Corporal Richard Curnow. The 25-year-old vanished without a trace yesterday morning after a training run with his troop. 75 soldiers spent the day searching the city's River Valley while boats patrolled the nearby North Saskatchewan River. But with no sign of Curnow by late this afternoon, EPS made the tough call.
We have searched the water, the ground. We've used all of our capabilities, and at this point there's just nothing more for us to look for here.
While the search itself has now been called off, for his fellow soldiers, the quest to find him will remain ongoing.
We're not done, let's be very clear. Yeah, we're calling off the physical search, but we're not giving up. We're certainly very optimistic that we'll find Master Corporal Curnow alive and well somewhere.
But Curnow's family is less optimistic. With hope fading, his wife Justine spent the day putting up posters.
Obviously, if he is conscious, he would have contacted someone, so we're just hoping for the best, but really it's starting to get to the point of preparing for the worst.
When she heard the news of the search being called off, she started to cry. She says the family plans to keep searching on their own until they find him. So it was with heavy hearts that soldiers packed up, trying to come to terms with having to leave one of their own behind.
But I think they can all put their hands on their hearts and say without a shadow of a doubt that they've done everything physically and humanly possible to try and find him.
Investigators say they haven't found any evidence to suggest that Curnow may have harmed himself or become the victim of foul play. Right now there are posters just like this one all throughout the River Valley. Anyone who might know anything about the disappearance of Richard Curnow is now asked to contact Edmonton Police's Missing Persons Unit, which has now taken over the case. Alicia Asquith, CBC News, Edmonton.
Well, it's just a beautiful night out there tonight. Steph, how are things looking for tomorrow?
A very similar day tomorrow, David. Waking up to sunshine and 5 degrees, daytime high of 16. Just a few clouds rolling in for the afternoon. 13 degrees is your evening temperature. I'm sure you're going to be thrilled with your Mother's Day forecast. Huge improvement. I'll have that for you in a moment.
The company responsible for that massive oil spill near Peace River has apologized for the way it let people know about the incident. Executives from Plains Midstream Canada held a news conference today. Last Friday, their pipeline leaked 4.5 million liters of oil not far from Little Buffalo. The company has been criticized for its communication with the small community. The president admitted it should have been handled better.
I apologize that we have not had more direct communication. Our efforts to date have been focused on containing and mitigating the impact of the release. We will ensure that there is open, honest, and timely communication with all affected parties.
The company says 300 workers are now cleaning up the site. Late today, the province said 20% of it has now been recovered. It's the largest oil spill Alberta has seen since the 1970s. Well, overcrowding in hospital emergency wards puts patients who are already sick at even greater risk. There was a key message to emergency doctors and hospital officials gathered in Edmonton for a conference on ER overcrowding today, and Terry Reith was there.
Right now. It's all political and it's all...
A leaked letter from this doctor warning of dire problems in Edmonton emergency rooms set off that political firestorm.
In the last 6 months, a lot of really important changes have occurred because of this. So I think it's a good thing.
But in spite of ER overcrowding becoming a priority in Alberta, too many people still wait far too long.
The longer they spend in emergency, the morbidity goes up, the mortality goes up, as we've heard here today.
Dr. Pat Crosscarry is one of Canada's top experts on diagnostic errors. Not only do patients get worse the longer they wait, Doctors and nurses, overwhelmed by crowded ERs, make bad decisions.
There is a tendency to take shortcuts in thinking, and those shortcuts we know are associated with errors.
Long waits and overworked medical staff aren't necessarily a given. This hospital in downtown Vancouver used to struggle under the weight of its overcrowded ER. No more.
If you come to St. Paul's Emergency, our average time to physician is about 38 minutes for all comers. If you come with a minor problem like an ankle sprain or a cut in your hand, we can get you in and out in less than 2 hours, 70% of the time.
Alberta Health Services set a target of treating and discharging patients within 4 hours. At University Hospital, only 48% are treated within that time. How did St. Paul's do it?
We tried to take things that were multiple step processes and brought them together.
Terry Reith, CBC News, Edmonton.
Brad Cooper is finishing his first full day in a North Carolina jail. He was sentenced yesterday to life in prison for murdering his wife Nancy, who was originally from right here in Edmonton. Scott Frolick has reaction from her younger sister, who spoke with us today.
Jill Dean gave birth to her daughter during the trial and gave her the middle name Nancy in honor of her slain sister.
It's heartbreaking that she can't oversee them growing up.
Brad Cooper killed his wife almost 3 years ago. Yesterday, a jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to life.
And I get that question, like, I know this was going to happen. Didn't you see it coming?
Jill says she remembers the better, happier times, not just with her sister, but Brad too.
So you kind of just have to take it for what it is. Because if you hold on to the anger and hate him forever, then that entire part of your life becomes kind of a lie.
Jill said she knew her sister's marriage was disintegrating, but she adds there was no way to know it would end in murder.
Hindsight's 20/20, right? So you look back and I think a lot of behaviors, you kind of excuse them away.
The couple's young daughters are now in the care of Nancy and Jill's older sister and her husband.
They're amazing parents and have really sacrificed so much of themselves and their own lives.
Scott Frolick, CBC News, Edmonton.
All right, now let's head to Toronto now to see who's stopping in to chat with our own man in black, George Stroumboulopoulos, on his show tonight.
Hello, you glorious nation. All right, tonight on the program, a very funny comedian, also incredibly controversial, Tommy Tiernan. He started drinking again, and it's your wife's fault, isn't it?
She drove me to drink, yeah.
But she actually asked you to?
She asked me to start drinking again, yeah.
We'll get into it with Tommy Tiernan.
Well, the weekend has finally arrived, and are we going to have some happy mothers this Sunday, Steph?
David, Mother's Day is a bouquet of good news. Look at this. No more showers in the forecast. All of that staying to the south and west of the capital region. Mix of sun and cloud for Sunday. Daytime high of 14 degrees. Nothing but sunshine on Monday. High of 16, 19 and mainly sunny come Tuesday. 20 degrees on Wednesday. 17 and showers come Thursday. And 19 degrees on Friday. David?
Well, Scone Road is now shut down, so you'll have to find alternate routes if you're heading in and out of downtown. As you can see, crews have already begun tearing up the area. Some drivers tell us they've seen an increase in traffic on the High Level and Walterdale bridges. The road will be shut down until at least November. So while the big dig is underway, city officials are asking for your understanding. Extra crews may be added to the project throughout the summer to help speed up the road work. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, you can always check out our website, cbc.ca/Edmonton, for all your news. Now stick around. George is heading your way next.
For fruits and vegetables.